Now, what we've been looking at so far in every market has been private goods. So everything we've looked at so far, private goods. Bottled water, a cup of coffee, your iPhone, the camera, yada yada yada. Those are private goods. There are another class of goods that have two important characteristics that pretty much will mean the market system that we have in place cannot provide them. These are called public goods, and the reason why they're called public goods, let me show you what the two characteristics are. So all that we have done so far are private goods, but we have another class of goods called public goods. And the two defining characteristics is that they have what's called non-rivalry in consumption. And I'll explain this. First characteristic is that they have something called non-rivalry in consumption. And what this means is, when one person consumes a good, it does not stop another from also consuming the good. It's a little different. Non-rivalry in consumption, when one person consumes a good, it does not stop another from also consuming the good. So for example, you buy that bottled water, it's yours. I can't come and go take your bottled water and take a sip. That would be weird. Right? That's a private good. With public good, it is the case where I can consume the good, you can consume the good, you can consume the good, we can all consume the good simultaneously, which is going to create a little bit of a problem. So we can simultaneously enjoy the benefits of public goods.
You're talking about like bridges and parks?
Those are some good examples. Yeah? There's another characteristic. Public goods are non-exclusive. And what this means is, there is no effective way of stopping people from benefiting from the good once it exists.
Like public Wi-Fi.
It's public. So once the good exists, there's no effective way of blocking people that we say it's non-exclusive.
Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to do that?
Why would who want to do that?
Anybody. Like, why would you want to block something?
Because you want to make money from it. Right? Yeah. The whole point of a private good is a private good has rivalry in consumption and there are ways to exclude individuals. The bottled water, the iPhone, so on and so forth. A public good has opposite characteristics. Non-rivalry in consumption and they're non-exclusive. Which means once we have a public good existing and you can't block anybody from consuming it, it means everybody's going to consume it. This is what we call a free rider problem. Yeah? So once the good exists, everybody will jump in and get the benefits. So these suffer from the free rider problem. Which brings us to the important issue. Who is going to provide the public good?
Government.
It has to be the government.
To an extent.
Yeah?
Until they run out of that good, or they run out of resources to provide that good.
Who is they? The government?
The government, yeah.
They're not going to run out of resources. They just tax us more.
What about like non-profit private organizations?
So give me some examples of public goods. You were giving me some earlier.
Parks, bridges.
Free park.
Emergency medical services.
American citizenship.
So the police, fire department and so on.
Hospital access, that kind of thing.
Schools.
National, non-congested freeway.
Issues in immigration.
Yeah? A free park, national defense, public services, freeways, roads, street lights. So you're walking under the street light, it doesn't know if you paid or not. Yeah? Those are considered public goods. And usually, because they have non-rivaling consumption and they're non-exclusive, we have to find ways to kind of prick the government to supply these goods. Have your hand up?
I was gonna say parking, but it goes for both.
Parking?
Yeah, like, you know, some
Like
people.
public parking?
Yeah, sometimes public, sometimes private.
So if it's free and there is no, you don't have to pay for it, I'll agree it's a public good. Yeah? So once it is that there's non-rivaling consumption, non-exclusive, these are public goods. And usually the case is you cannot provide these goods to the market system. Because once it exists, you have the free rider. You have somebody like me who will be waiting in the wings, ready to jump on it. Which means oftentimes the way we get public goods is to find ways to notify the government that we want these particular public goods. And this is a part of econ called public choice, whether it's through voting, propositions, sometimes they take surveys, and they provide these public goods through lump sum taxes overall. So these are not private goods like what we're using, these are called public goods. Okay? Slightly different. Okay? Questions on those? Somebody was telling me about free Wi-Fi, I agree, or the GPS system. Yeah? Any questions? Yeah?
So like the metro wouldn't be part of that, right?
The metro, well, you gotta pay a fare.
Pay a fare.
Yeah? If you have to pay admission or so on, it's no longer public good, but a lot of people call those natural monopolies. Where you have to pay, no, if you have to pay admission for a park, it's no longer public good. Yeah? Any questions? Now remember, next week is when we kick into gear with the theory of the firm. That's how we're going to start this stuff. So next week, we're going to start the theory of the firm.